Hello. I'm excited to have you here. This is a one tech thing I'm doing, so anything expected ahead, I hope you will understand. And also, I'm currently using what I can manage to use to share what I create, to share my content. And in the future, I will be able to edit all these things, and you will have a more, let me say, a more comfortable video to what I'll be sharing. But the main intention of sharing this is I'm planning to share my process. I'm planning to share how I create my work, how I develop the stories behind my artworks. I'm trying also to show you what goes on behind my ideas, because some of them are extreme, some are funny, some are unconventional, and I feel like it's best if maybe at least people knew what goes on behind my pieces. Let me call it behind the scenes. And without much ado, let's go straight to the point. So these are some samples I've just picked, and it shows the routine I use while creating my pieces. So as you can see, I've begun with all this page with a lot of writings, and all this is what I use when developing this final sketch we can see over here. This is a sketch of a room, and what I normally do is I develop the setting, or rather the environment, before adding my characters, because it allows me to have this freedom to place the characters any place I would love to place them. So for this piece, the sketch for the characters that would be used there look like this, and this one is my favorite. Although I also loved this pose over here. It kind of looks funny, it looks humorous. And to mention, I've been working on my anatomy to improve my human characters as well, because I'm trying to make realistic body proportions. And on to the next one, we have this one. It's titled Whose Fault, but I'll talk more about it when I create it. But it's inspired by a meme. There's this meme that shows a truck trying to avoid an expensive vehicle and hitting a more cheaper one. And in my painting, I'm still deciding whether the other car falls down, because I'm trying to create this idea of why should we only have this type of respect for expensive things. And especially here when we are talking about cars, what if there were a family, or rather some kids, sleeping in that vehicle that has tripped? And on the next piece, we have this one is inspired by a scene I watched. There's this Mtura guy who was chasing away a dog that was just trying to find something to eat, or let me say a stray dog. And I used some exaggeration. Of course, the Mtura guy was not holding this big club. He was just using small stones to chase away the dog. And when we zoom in a bit deeper, we can see that the dog is staring to the sides, where we'll see we have a mama mboga over here, and we have some puppies over here, which could probably be the dog's puppies. And here, as you can see over here, this is a zoom in from this part. There's somebody seated over here, and if we follow the arrow, we can see that it's someone really even using her phone. We can see how they've been dressed, and you can see the things on the table, which will be developed as I work on the painting, because most of these ideas actually normally change during the process. And all this over here is a narrative to everything that happens within that painting. And for some of my paintings, I use a plan to help me locate the different buildings and where people, and placement of people in that painting or idea. Okay, to the next one, we have this one is a funny one. It's a painting that I intend to use to really develop my human anatomy, to really go into it. It's an idea whereby I imagined people playing sports in the Garden of Eden, and as we all understand, in the Garden of Eden there were no clothes during those times. And this is also to help me be able to articulate those muscles the way they actually look like in real life. And so the process for this, we can see we have sketches over here. I drew nude people, and my favorite pose would be this lady standing over here. There's just something about this pose of hers. There's a way I really captured the anatomy. Although the proportion is off, but what I'm trying to say is that this is not normally the final one, because from this I developed them even more, because you can see over here I now try to develop the background, adding an aquarium over here and such. And talking about that, I've been learning a number of things. One thing I'd mention would be the eye level, and the eye level actually means the point to which someone is viewing something. So as we can see over here, this is a different approach to what we have here, of which I developed this and created this, which has more proportions, or rather the proportions are in order. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a one take, and I'm already 5 minutes and 30 seconds into it. I don't know why my music went silent. Maybe I pressed the wrong button, or rather it just hung, or maybe the music is over. Oh, okay, it's going on. All right, where are we? Okay, we were here. Excuse me for that. All right, so I was talking about the eye level, and as you can see here, we now have people outside in a field, yet on the other side they are indoors. And on this field, remember the idea is about Garden of Eden, and I might add trees, maybe trees with some fruits, of which while I was creating this, another idea came of an eye level. I imagine, what if somebody from this part was viewing this scene? They would see it in a totally different way as compared to someone from the side where we are watching this. And these are some things that I will always be sharing with you. And I just remembered, so the view that this person is having over here has been captured here, because he's seeing it from a top view. So it's more of seeing like the top of the people's head, the top of the trees and such. And as I continue, this is another piece. This one is one of my favorites as well. The main idea was to paint, or rather to create people in a garden. And as you can see over here, we have two people. One is having a wheelbarrow, and the setting is in an animal farm. And you can notice I'm asking myself questions as I create it. Is it fenced? What is it about this farm? How does it really look? And this is the real test of creating from imagination, because you have to ask yourself so many questions. And I believe through doing this, I'll be one of those artists who will create one of the most unique artworks, because everything has been created from imagination. Everything has been placed there for a certain reason. And this painting had a really, I'd say, in film, I'd call it plot twist. In painting, I currently don't know the exact term, but you can imagine the idea from this one evolved up to this. This is one of the best pieces I will ever create. I mean, I just love this. There's a way this lady has held a skirt, and she's jumping because there's this squirrel that is running from somewhere. And as I proceed, okay, good, we are finally getting to the end. This is one of the most recent works I've done. I did it for Sarit. There's been or rather, we have these people, they call themselves Sana Arts Universe. They provide space for artists to showcase their work. I've showcased with them before, and they were celebrating 5 years of supporting artists. And this is the sketch for Sarit that I made, everything purely from imagination. So with this, I just love to thank you if you've reached this part of this video. It was a one take, and like I said earlier, I'll use what I have to share what I do. And as I proceed, you'll understand that my works are created from imagination, and I hope you can follow for more.